Here is Eye on the Candy, and he had a huge day today because he did his first field trip and cross country school. Well, he's jumped over the logs in my little field, but this is a first real proper cross country school, and it's a super hot day in Maryland. Actually, it's one of the coolest of the next several coming, which is sort of scary. But we're about to enter this really big heat wave, so I just sort of felt like it was this morning or bust. We would just have to wait a week or so to get this done. So we did get it done, and I'm glad we did. And he definitely, I think, got a little bit tired quicker than he would have on a less humid, hot day, but it's fine. He did plenty, and he was so good. There were other horses there and group schooling, and he handled all of that fantastically. And this facility has some really scary, odd shaped jumps. And so this is me warming him up, and I was trying to minimize the number of steps that my mom and my husband would have to take from the ground. So I was sort of just scouting out the place because all the jumps have moved since the last time I was there. So I'm just checking out where everything is and where I thought would be the best place for them to stand so they could capture the most without having to walk as much as possible. And I have to say that this horse, he was just lovely today from the moment I got on. I mean, you sort of expect when you take a horse cross country schooling for the first time, new place, lots and lots of stuff to look at, other horses, tons of distractions. I would expect them to be a little nervous or tense or distracted, and he just wasn't. He was fantastic. He was right to work. He steered around the whole field, stayed in a nice rhythm, soft, bending both directions. I knew when we were trotting around at this point, I've only been on him for a minute, but I knew, I'm like, this is going to be a great ride because his mindset is just so in the right place, paying attention, and he just felt very secure. And so that's a great feeling. Sometimes when I take a horse cross country schooling for the first time, if you're doing this ride around all the jumps, they're spooking off some of the jumps and giving the patches of ground where jumps used to be a good look and all kinds of stuff. Or they can't get unfocused from the other horses there. But God, Candy was just perfect. Such a good boy. Here, he really comes through for me. He really relaxes across his top line, and I thought he gave me some great steps there. Really good canter transition. I'm so proud of him. And he is schooling in his Hermspringer Duo D, so no bit change for jumping or cross country, and it was plenty of bit. I never felt like he was strong or I was needing anything more than what I had in his mouth. I think he really likes this bit. He goes well in it, and no flash or anything. So we started over this log, and I actually have to admit, I sort of should apologize to Candy. From a distance, I thought it looked smaller. When we got up to it, it was actually a little bit of like a fat, stumpy log. I wish we had started over one of the smaller ones, but he was a really good sport about it. We just sort of walked over it, popped it from a standstill the first couple of times, and he was very willing to do the things. That was a very good boy. I wish we had started over that log. That would have been more appropriate. Hindsight's 2020, but I should have known. So I didn't let him walk up to any of these jumps before we jumped them. He's just going right up to them with the intention of we are going over the jump. And of course, I want to keep all the jumps really small so that if you need to do it from the walk or pop it from the standstill, that's a safe, appropriate thing to be doing. But the mindset is when we approach something, we are going over it. And of course, I don't know what world some people live in. I live in a world where green horses sometimes stop at fences, and that is just a part of learning and it's a part of the journey. I feel like it's appropriate for a green horse to stop at a jump they're learning about. It's okay if they stop straight. They are not allowed to run out to the left or the right because if you stop straight, of course, you can pop it from the standstill. You can back up and come again in the walk or the trot. That is a learning moment. Running by it to the left or the right, that is what I absolutely don't want. And he never did that. I'm just going on a little rant about how I feel about these things. There were a few jumps that we sort of slowed down and popped over, but he was so good about not ever trying to duck out left or right. This little white jump we're cantering up to, for whatever reason, I just feel like my baby horses always give this one a hard look. But there you go. That's what I mean. It's like it's not always going to be beautiful, obviously. On any horse, it's never always beautiful, but especially on a green horse like this. But the message is just that when we approach something, we get over it in whatever form that happens to be. And then, of course, you can smooth it out once you've gotten that idea across, but that has to be the main idea. And of course, you want this to be in a relaxed state where their mind isn't tense and they're open to learning. So it's all a very fine line that, you have to expect that they're going to do the thing. There's no other option, but you don't want it to happen in a tense, anxious manner. And trust me, I don't always get it right. I thought he was very brave coming to that log there. There was a little bit different shape, different color, and he just sort of figured out his footwork real quick. He wasn't sure what he was doing, but he just figured it out, which is, of course, what we need our cross country horses to do. Such a good boy the second time. Whenever he has a jump where, we just sort of have to figure it out and get over it, I do try and circle back to do it again to help him build confidence in doing it in a more flowing way. So now we've moved to a little different area of the field, and I really felt like he hit his stride in this little section that we just did. He really sort of got into a flow and figured it out. We had some really nice jumps, and it felt very good. And I just love how relaxed his canter is. He's in front of the leg, but he's not racing around anywhere. He just is, taking each stride at a time. So this is a funny shaped log. It's a really good boy. Really good boy to go. Not sure, but still went. Good. And of course, better the second time. Or confident the second time, I should say. He has such a lovely balanced uphill canter. Okay, now I believe the next jump we're going to is the scary beehive jump or bee box jump. And this always gets green horses, but such a good boy to pop over it like that. Absolutely love it. So that jump, I don't know what it is, but something about that jump scares every green horse that I ever present it to. Some of them will stop and refuse to get near it like 10 strides out. But he was so good to stay straight and then just keep his feet moving and pop over it like that. And I actually thought he popped over it really nicely in good form. And then super good the next time. Good boy. In this section, he really felt like he was straight, he was flowing, he was understanding. This was fun. Good boy. I think I got him a terrible distance here 2 times in a row, which is always sort of embarrassing for me when I put it back in the videos. But we all miss our distances sometimes. I know I miss my fair share. So I think it's good to see how the horse handles it. Yep, missed again. Such a good sport, though. I believe the third time was the charm. I finally figured it out. That jump made me really happy because we just cantered up to it the first time. He's not seen it before, and he just jumped it so nice, so straight, so relaxed. So I think that at the that after that jump, I think he really like sort of he was tired after that. He was hot and tired. So we came up here by the baby mound and we did this. Of course, this is a nice thing to do at the end of the ride when they're hot and tired because we can just school it from a walk. So you can sort of cool them out at the same time that you're doing the mound. He was brilliant about going up to the mound. He just marched right up to it the first time and hopped up it. So that couldn't have been any better. Coming down the mound, so he just sort of slid off it like it was a slide. He was not as sure coming down the mound, which I find to be completely normal. Of course, I'm schooling by myself, so I don't have a horse to give me a lead, but Billy gave me a lead. Actually, I don't know why. For whatever reason, we didn't get this part on video. I would have put it in. But Billy gave me a lead, and he was super happy to follow Billy down. And then you're seeing the next 2 times that we did it. Super good boy. So then this last loop that we did here, after I jumped these couple of jumps, I was like, okay, he's tired. We need to be done jumping. Really good boy there. He is so balanced whenever there's a change in the ground, up the hills, down the hills, little swales, super balanced and quick with his legs. He was also really good here, stayed nice and straight, hasn't seen that jump yet, super good boy. And so then the last thing we did was the ditch, which he was also so brave about. And this facility has a really nice, kind baby ditch. He was so unconcerned that just stepped right in it, no problem. So then we came once out of the trot and once out of the canter. Really good boy. So that was it. He was fabulous. I couldn't ask more from him. And this is just some video of us. This is getting him ready at the beginning of the ride, and then there's some video of Billy putting him on the trailer before we left.